Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I revamped my old wig. I've had this wig for like a couple of years. I bought it back in 2023, end of 2023, so it's been through a lot. I practiced how to pluck using that frontal, and as you guys can see, it has balding because over time frontals do get bald. The more we wash the wigs, the more we hot comb the wigs, the more we wear the wigs, all of that. So I just showed you guys the bundle and the frontal. I got a 30-inch bundle and then I got a 16-inch full frontal. So with the bundle, because I've had the wig for so many years, I felt like the 30-inch bundle was too long because obviously my wig did shrink like over the years when I was washing it and all of that. So I'm showing you guys everything that I used for adding the extra bundle. I started from the bottom track and I just measured how much of the bundle I would need to sew. So I did cut my bundle because it is just one bundle and I needed to distribute it all over the unit, so I did cut in between. As I was saying regarding the bundle, I felt like my wig, when I initially got it, it was obviously 30 inches, and then over the years it shrunk simply because, you know, it's a wig, it's not my hair. And then I probably should have gotten maybe like a 28-inch bundle or a 26-inch, but it's cool though because I did trim the ends. You guys will see right at the end I did trim the ends, so please stay tuned throughout. I'm gonna stop talking now. Watch me sew the entire bundle all over the hair. This was honestly difficult because it was my first time doing this. It wasn't my first time like sewing a wig, but like it was my first time sewing a bundle on an existing wig. But I pulled it off. I really pulled it off because at the end, like, the hair was so nice and full and I just absolutely love it. So let me shut up now and let you guys watch.
Brings me to 30 hertz straight up. Brings me to 30 hertz straight up.
So this is how the sewing is looking halfway. I'm just showing you guys the last bundle that I sewed in. The bundle didn't last to a point where it covered the entire unit, and I was actually glad because you want the top part of your wig to be flat, so I'm glad that I didn't add any extra hair around the top. So I just started from the bottom and then ended right in the middle of the hair, the wig. My work was a bit sloppy, but I mean, I got that bundle on that wig. That's all that matters. And this is what she is looking like. This is how she's looking. And now we're gonna get into bleaching the knots of the new frontal. I was so excited about this, you guys, because I was just visioning how this unit is gonna come out. So I went in with Got To Be and I sprayed that onto the hairline just to make sure that those flyaways don't get caught up in the bleach. If you guys want a detailed video on how I bleach the knots of my wigs, honestly this is also detailed, but if you want to watch another video where I bleached the knots of my unit, I will link that video down below.
Straight up.
So I'm going to be going in with the Brilliant Bleach Powder. Honestly, this is my favorite bleach powder. I've never actually tried any other bleach powder to bleach my knots because I'm so hooked on this one. It is just so good. I went in with 2 scoops, and then in terms of the developer, I honestly just eyeballed it and I just kept on adding a little by little, and I kept on mixing with my fork till I got the desired consistency, which is a paste-like consistency. You guys are gonna see in a moment. You just want to keep adding little by little because you don't want to add too much and then end up having to add more bleach powder, and then by the time you're done bleaching your frontal, you have excess bleach left over, which is a waste. So it's always good to just work off small amounts at a time. I almost forgot to wear my gloves, you guys, so I did go ahead and put that on. Very important, don't forget to do that. So as you guys can see, I'm adding a little bit of the developer once again and mixing. You really want to keep on mixing. Like, I spent a lot of time mixing. Obviously this video is sped up, but I spent a lot of time mixing my bleach and my developer because I wanted to make sure that I get everything incorporated together and the consistency is to my liking, because I didn't want to under bleach the knots or over bleach them. So this is what it should look like. I'm going to be using a popsicle stick or a wooden stick or a bamboo stick, whatever you want to call it, to be I'm going to be using that to apply my bleach. So basically you want to start at the bottom of the frontal because that's where the thick knots are, and to be honest, even the middle knots were very thick, like they were double knotted. So for me it was very difficult to bleach the knots of this wig. I felt like by the time I had toned the knots and everything, the front part, the edges, like where the edges are, was bleached to perfection, but the rest of the knots was still pretty dark because they were quite thick and difficult to bleach. I didn't want to over bleach the hair in front because the front knots obviously are very thin. So I left this on for a good 20 minutes. I think it was 20 to 25 minutes. I can't really remember, but I didn't leave it for too long like I would normally with like bleaching my knots and stuff. I was just so scared to ruin the wig because I wanted to make sure that the front knots are bleached to perfection, which they were, but the rest of the wig wasn't to my liking. So maybe I should have applied the bleach and the back knots and then let it sit for a couple of minutes and then apply it to the front. As you guys can see, like I felt like it was a little over bleached, but after toning the knots, everything just looked so perfect. So I went in with the Violet Crush purple shampoo from Frieda. I absolutely love this purple shampoo. I did add a little too much than I normally would. Honestly, this was a mistake on my end. But either way, I left this on for 5 minutes and then I rinsed it right off. I made sure to cover the over bleached parts. I really wanted this to be perfect, and it really was, to be honest. It's just that the knots are just too thick on this frontal. So I did go ahead and use my Tresemme moisture rich shampoo to rinse the rest of the hair, and this is what it's looking like. I absolutely love how this came out, you guys. Like, bleaching knots just makes the wig look sculpt like, so I was looking forward to just throwing that on my mannequin head and removing the old frontal and just sewing this frontal in. I had to show you guys like directly on my table, and yeah, I was really happy. So this is what the old frontal is looking like, and we're gonna go ahead and cut that. We're gonna go ahead and trim it off the wig. I did section that away so that I don't get any of the bundles onto where I'm gonna be cutting. I did go ahead and measure that, and honestly the new frontal was longer than the old frontal. So there was a little bit of, you know, overlapping happening after I was done sewing the frontal, but I did cut that off when I installed the wig, so it didn't really, you know, make me too nervous. So right now I'm just trimming off and I'm eyeballing this, and I'm using my scissors and I'm trying to focus, and yeah, you guys, it's as simple as that.
Brings me that 30 hertz straight up.
So now it's time to sew the new frontal. So I'm just measuring it from ear to ear, making sure that it sits appropriately. I did kind of did a oopsie with this, because when I realized that the frontal was longer, I should have actually just anticipated leaving a little bit of space for the other side. But like I said, you guys, I did cut the excess off when I installed the wig. This is what it looked like. I couldn't film the whole process of me sewing. It was really hard. It got to a point where I wanted to give up. Guys, like, this was really difficult to do. You have to consider the fact that, you know, there's hairs that are being trapped while you're sewing. It was just crazy. But anyways, now we're gonna dye the wig jet black. I went in with my Glamour spray to 4 layers of Glamour spray on my lace to protect it from the dye, and then I went in with the Inecto hair dye. As you guys can see, I'm showing you all the shades. These are all the things that I actually used. In the box, you're gonna get your mixing stick. It's like a wooden stick and some gloves, and then the cream, as well as the developer. And you just want to read your instructions and make sure that you use the correct measurements. For me, I didn't want too much of the blue black, so I added just a little bit of that, and then I added the entire tube of dye as well as the developer, and then I mixed that in. And you want to let it sit for at least 5 minutes. As you guys can see, it darkened up a bit. That means it was ready for use. And I did do section by section. I pulled out, I think, 2 sections at a time, 2 tracks at a time, and then I applied the dye using my dye brush. And yeah, I literally did that all over the hair, and I did use my fingers as well to distribute the dye, because you want to make sure that every strand of hair is covered with that mixture. So this is how the dye is looking on the hair. I left that on for 45 minutes. And when it comes to the front, you want to use a comb to apply your dye so that it does not ruin your knots. You don't want to go back and bleach your knots all over again. So this is how the wig is looking after I've rinsed it out and conditioned it, and then I let it dry overnight. So now I'm going in with my Hair Rescue leave-in conditioner because now I'm gonna blow dry the hair and get ready to pluck.
30 hertz straight up.
These are the tweezers that I used. For me, these are the best. And then I used my ragtail tooth comb to section out the hair. But first I went in with my hot comb just to push all the hairs back because I wanted to make sure that I have a good layout of where I'm going to pluck. And yeah. So now I'm just sectioning out 3 sections. I started with one section at a time. Oh my gosh, what am I even saying? But yeah, as you guys can see, and then I pulled out 3 rows of hair. I don't like to go too further back when I'm plucking because I still want my hairline to look realistic. So when you're plucking, you just want to keep moving your tweezers. You don't want to stay in one spot, otherwise you're going to get a bald spot. So you just want to keep moving around, and you want to do this as many times as possible. I think I did about 2 to 3 rounds of plucking because the knots were so dense in the middle. They were so dense, and on the sides as well, but mostly in the middle. So I wanted to make sure that I pluck as much of those knots out. I wanted the hairline to look a lot more realistic. So yeah, I only showed the side of plucking. I didn't show the entire hair because the entire wig because it was difficult to not get myself on camera because I was trying to move around. So yeah, you guys can see I'm just moving. Oh, you also want to comb out your hair so that you can see the hair that you're actually plucking. So when you get to the front, you want to be extremely careful because if you leave a bald spot there, it's very difficult to hide it. So yeah, just be careful and don't pluck too much. Pluck only as necessary.
30 hertz straight up.
This is how the wig looks after I was done plucking it. I was so happy, you guys. And remember that your wig will shed as time goes by. This is the amount of hair that I plucked. It's actually quite a lot, you guys. So crazy. So now I am just prepping my wig for an install. I went in with my Argan oil hair mousse. And as I was saying, guys, like your frontal does get bald over time, so you want to always make sure that you pluck very minimal because the hair will be shedding as time goes by. So I went in with my wax stick and my heat protector just to make sure that that hot comb sleeks the hair right on back, and you guys can see properly the plucking work that I did.
30 hertz straight up.
This is what the wig looks like. I trimmed the ends of the wig and it's looking so luscious. I straightened it off camera and I used a hair serum and my heat defense and also the hair rescue sprays. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next one.